What's up? Welcome in to Toads Tiles After Dark. This is episode 2. We're talking a little week 2 NFL action, as well as what happened last week. It was a spectacular week 1 of NFL football. Everything we were waiting for and expect. Well, I don't want to say everything we were expecting because that's not the case. But you can find me on Twitter at Nate_Dirt19. I am joined, as always, by my dude Abe. What's up, man?
Not too much, man. Got 1 week in the books, so ready to get her going for week 2. Last week was an interesting but fun week to get her rolling and see a few things. It's always good to kind of get week 1 out of the way and kind of see how a couple of teams choose what they do. You always kind of get surprised by a few things, but it's just a couple things we'll go over today. So looking forward to week 2.
It was it was wild. So I don't know. It was a blast. I'm so happy it was back. I see you got Rich in the comments. What's up, Rich? Our third co-host is on the road for business, so he was unable to join us this evening. So he will be missed, of course. And he'll be back next week though with some good Raiders information for us. I'm excited to hear what he thinks after they, started out 1-0. Got a little tougher of a test this week with the Bills coming to town, or they're going to the Bills, I guess. So
angry Bills team.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
That was wild. You can find Abe on Twitter at MVINFF. You can find the show at Toads Titles. Check out all of our content, mock drafts, articles, player profiles. Everything we do is on our website at toadstitles.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe button. We would appreciate that. And the little bell so you know when we're going live. Like I said last week, there's 17 shows in season now, which is just a ton. It's fun. So also, if you are into college football, check out our sister nation, sister network, CFB Nation, on their YouTube channel. They need more followers because they do a ton of good stuff and are underfollowed in my opinion. Last but not least, if you want to interact with the team, hit me up, anybody, to get in our gilded chat. It's free. Well over 200 people in there. We talk about everything: fantasy football, NFL, gambling, DFS, just anything that has to do with all of it. So check it out. It's fun. Little week 2 news before we get going. Rodgers done for the year. That was not fun to watch. There goes Abe and I's first round pick I say it's an early second round pick, but who knows? Their defense is very, very good.
It is. It's really good.
They showed pretty well, against the Bills team that a lot of people have high expectations for. Some don't. I'm kind of nervous for the Bills. There just seems to be some things that are kind of off for them. It feels like Josh Allen just forces a lot of stuff. I'm nervous for his health. I wish he'd slide or run out of bounds.
Or throw the ball out of bounds.
Yeah,
that might help him out a little bit too.
Those 3 interceptions. I don't know. I was excited to get Josh Allen in a keeper league I'm in with Abe, and he did real well for me Monday night. So,
you also have to give credit to the Jets. I mean, the Jets D was really solid. Their front 4, front 7. Even obviously we know about their secondary, but they're quick. Quentin Williams is nasty. I mean, that dude is so damn good that.
Oh yeah.
But you got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, the Jets played excellent on defense, and I think Josh Allen thought. I wonder if they kind of thought, like, as soon as Rodgers went down, like, oh, we're going to win this, we're good. I wonder if pros feel that way, like, maybe high schoolers or college players do, like, hey, they're missing their guy, now we can kind of relax and go. But that's not the way in the NFL. They're all pros.
Yeah. Another sad one, J.K. Dobbins done for the season, also ruptured Achilles. That sucks. Guy can't stay healthy, it seems like. I don't know. I'd be honest. I don't know. This may be a career ender for him. It's going to be hard for him to get a paycheck from somebody, I think.
I think any Baltimore running back. It's just a merry-go-round of who can stay healthy. It's a war of attrition. See who can be the last man standing. Gosh, I just don't know. I mean, now we're relying on Mel Gordon. Is that Mel Gordon?
Justice Hill, dude.
Justice Hill, Gus Edwards, Mel Gordon. I mean, which one? Which one's next? Oh,
I spent $145 of fab money on Justice Hill yesterday. So
what's your budget?
I don't remember if it's 500 or 1,000. I think
Okay.
it's 500.
I was hoping you wouldn't say 200.
No, 500. So, I mean, not that much. I didn't feel like it was anyways. For a guy that generally I usually like in one of my dynasty leagues, I'll kind of forget when waivers are. And this, of course, week one's the big run, like the big one. And so, I don't think I've ever spent all of my fab money in any league I've ever been in. So, for me to spend, I guess almost a quarter of it or whatever.
Yeah, 29%. Yeah.
I'm not too worried about it.
No.
If he, God, knock on wood, I hope he can stay healthy.
I mean, either you spend it all like week 1 and week 2, or you have a ton left over. So it's just, kind of which way you look at it. I mean, because these are the big couple weeks where you're starting to find out, like, all right, our guy's hurt, who's the guy. So it's all right to get a little bit aggressive during week 1 and 2 on your fab budgets.
Yeah. Actually, that reminds me, after we get to the news here, we'll talk some waiver wire stuff real quick, see some guys you were targeting and all your stuff. But big one for the Chiefs, which will help against the Jaguars, I think. Chris Jones is practicing and will play this Sunday. He was definitely missed last week. And not saying that the front seven of the Chiefs didn't do well, but, that game would have been a lot different if Travis Kelce was there. I mean, Kadarius Toney couldn't. I mean, I always made fun of Sammy Watkins saying he had fucking hands like a digital watch, and that's fucking Kadarius Toney. That guy's – I don't know how he's still on the team. He needs cut.
Well, maybe it's kind of the opposite of Watkins, because Sammy always had a phenomenal week 1.
That's
and
true.
Then after that, he completely fell off.
Well, hey, you know what? I will let you start him in all your
opposite of
leagues. You can start Kadarius Toney in all your leagues this week and see if it worked, because I don't think it does. It might.
I mean, his body language showed last week, though, that he didn't have any confidence. So, usually when you go out and drop a ball or, a couple balls, for someone like him that, goes and commands the football, like as soon as he dropped, I think it was the second one.
The one where the pick six came from?
Just, yes. His body language just said, like, don't throw me the ball anymore. I don't think I can catch it. And hopefully that gets fixed in practice this week. Hopefully if Kelce comes back, he gets a little bit more confidence, because he doesn't have to be the guy. I think he thought he had to, be the man last week, and he should have. But he just, man, he lost all confidence, and you could tell watching him on the field.
Yeah, miserable. Big one for Seattle. Both their tackles, Pete Carroll said they're hurting, and that he said that it's going to be tough for him to play Sunday. That would not be good for Geno in the passing attack. They looked really, really bad in the second half last week. I don't know what happened. It seemed like the game plan just like, I don't know. A lot of times you see a coach, and Pete Carroll's not that guy that doesn't change the game plan or try to adapt usually, but they just looked like they didn't know what they were doing. That whole second half. I mean, the Rams, like I said, we talked last week. I said that'd be the best game the Rams played all season, because that was the healthiest they'd be. And that may be the case, but anyways, going into Detroit, not having your tackles against Aiden Hutchinson is not what you want. Going to be tough sledding if that's the case.
Did he looked great against Kansas City.
Yeah, that guy's fucking. He's a monster.
He is everywhere.
It's frustrating to watch. Well, I don't really care about the tackle sitting back and cheating, but like, fucking chip the guy or something.
I don't think you can, though. Like, I mean, even if you do, but like,
they had a couple times
he's
where
so smooth that
they had a couple where you see him and they'd like help a little bit, and it'd give you an extra, maybe one Mississippi or something. Like that helps when he gets the quarterback in 2 seconds. Maybe you can get one more second.
Yeah, I mean, anything would help, because he was awesome.
Yeah, he is. So, that'll be something to definitely keep an eye on for your fantasy teams this weekend, especially, whether it's running backs or wide receivers for the Seahawks. That's a very big concern. Tomorrow night for Thursday Night Football, Garrett Bradbury is out. Christian Darrisaw is questionable. I don't know what they're leaning towards, whether he'll play or not. That's another two huge issues for the Vikings if they are out. Their center, he's one of the best in the NFC North probably. And him being out is big. And not having your right tackle also against a very, very good front seven in Philadelphia is not going to be easy, especially after getting beat by the Buccaneers. That was pretty funny. I was pretty happy about that.
I mean, this is a team that won. What did they win? 12 last year. I mean,
yeah, well, they won like 14 games by one score or something. They kept talking about, with Kevin O'Connell and that horseshoe up his ass. But maybe it's different now.
They're in a tough spot to start the season. That's for sure. I mean, we'll talk about this, I imagine, a little bit, but I mean, we saw last year where Minnesota went and played Philadelphia week 2 and just got their doors blown off. So I don't see anything different tomorrow night.
Hey, Joe, Aaron's coming back next year. He said the sun's going to rise again. He's going to be there next year. And I hope that it's another Hall of Fame career and then Jordan Love goes to the Jets. I'm fine with that, as long as it's another Hall of Fame career.
Yeah. I don't know if the Jets will take on Jordan Love 15 years from now, though. I think they've learned their lesson after the first 2, but I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah, Joe, I just said he didn't like the Bills coming into the season, need more weapons, Josh Allen. I agree. There's something else. I don't know if it's just a weapon thing for him, but and like Abe said, I don't know if he just doesn't throw the ball away or what, but it seems like he just tries to do everything, which, you want him to not, want him to be the guy, but it seems like they just put a little too much on his plate sometimes. And, I don't know. It takes me back to like, there's so many teams do it. And I thought the Giants last year did it very well. And I hope that they get back to that this weekend. But, like doing what works for your team and what your quarterback's good at, what your team's good at, like last year, Brian Daboll was very good at doing things that Daniel Jones was good at, not getting things, not trying to do too much that he couldn't do.
Right.
Where you're putting the whole team in a bad situation, and every single year at the year, we're going to do this year. We're going to do that this year. Why don't you just do what works? Do what you can do with your team. You're going to win more games doing that than trying to do other dumb shit. So,
right. I mean, that's what we saw from Chicago this weekend is they just, they have, Field just sits back and wants to throw and like work to his advantage. His advantage is to move. And he's got a cannon for an arm. I mean, if he gets it out in the open, he can throw it 65, 70 yards still. I mean, that just made a hell of a lot of things easier for the defense. And kind of same thing with Josh Allen. Like you said, I think he thinks he has to do too much. They have enough. They have, that you have one of the best wide receivers. You have a lot. Just chill out a little bit and let the game come to you instead of forcing everything. That's what pissed me off. It's almost like he tries scoring 30 points on every possession and just relax. Like just settle down a little bit and let the game come to you a little bit. But
just sit back and throw the ball fucking 80 yards every time because I like watching him do that. So
yeah, he can do it. He throws it the wrong colors.
That's one fly every now and then.
I mean, you want to keep a defense honest, but every time you roll to the pocket and you're throwing against your body and you're throwing at 60 yards, you're gonna throw picks. I mean, which is good for punts, but shit, you got to. I mean, that's not feasible when you got a loaded offense. So
yeah. Another big one for tomorrow night. Also, Kenny Gainwell out. Who knows? DeAndre Swift, Rashad Penny, Boston Scott still there.
Right. Who's next?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of lean towards DeAndre Swift, but that'll probably go the other way. So,
I mean, they went out and got both those guys. Like, I mean, Kenny G was their guy they drafted. So it's like, do they like, they got Penny and then do they like him? Swift tore him up last year, so they saw him firsthand. What? I don't know which way they'll go. Penny wasn't even active last week, was he? I don't even think he was active.
No.
So he's got to be active tomorrow. And
yeah, he is.
I don't know. I mean, you got to think it's Swift, but Penny has the opportunity to bust at any time. I mean, maybe Swift will be the third down back. I don't know. It's too early in the season to sit there and kind of guess what Philadelphia is going to do. But
Rich said
they have two good ones
helping us out. Penny healthy scratch last week. They're probably just saving him up because they know he's made out of like toilet paper and he'll get hurt. So, what up, Dave?
Wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't doubt it.
like I said, before we go to week 2, were there any big waiver acquisitions you had besides my Justice Hill waste of money? Well, maybe not. Maybe it's going to work. Maybe he won't be the. I mean, he got hurt last year, I think, but Seattle
No,
running backs and Baltimore running backs.
yeah, I mean, a lot of leagues I'm in, like there's not much out there. Like you sit there and look at stuff, and they're like, hey, go out and take a look at this person, or Josh Kelly from the Chargers, because I don't know if Eckler's going to play this weekend. And even if he does, we saw that their OC do a 2-headed running back in Dallas. So we saw that last week. I mean, Josh Kelly had in a close game, I think he had 17 touches or something when you have Eckler on your team. So a lot of leagues I went to go get Josh Kelly. He wasn't available in a lot. He wasn't available in any except for the 8-man league that I was in. But
is that the one where I got beat by 400 because of defense?
Yeah. yes. Yes. The defensive points is outrageous. But other than that, I kind of looked at wide receivers, and then kind of banked on today on a couple of tight ends getting dropped and picked up a couple of them. Yeah, I mean the wide receiver from the Rams.
Rich just said that Puka Nuka or Nuka, whatever his name is.
Yeah, Puka Kuna, or I don't even know what his name is.
I got him
Puka. I don't know what his name is, but
I got him in our Bar Pigs league.
Yeah, and I got him in my big league. Anytime you go out and get 16 targets, you almost have to be looked at to pick up on the waiver. I don't know. I mean, is he going to be relevant in 4 weeks? I don't know. I mean,
what if Cooper Kupp's not ready to come back?
Right. I mean, another thing too is he played Cooper Kupp's position. Is it a position thing? Is that where Stafford feels comfortable throwing to? I mean, I don't know. And if Cooper Kupp comes back in week 5 and he plays that position, will Puka be anything? Who knows? I mean, will Stafford even be there in week 5? Probably not. I mean, I don't think so. But he's worth getting. He's worth probably even plugging into your lineup for a couple weeks. Because you get 16 targets, that's not a mistake. I mean, that's
no.
And they're going to have to throw this week. I imagine they're going to be down. So
I mean, if he gets 8 targets this week, that's still a pretty good waiver pickup. So.
Right? Yeah, absolutely.
Rich also said Kyron Williams. I have no idea what the hell that was going on there. Cam Akers not getting touches. I don't know. I don't know what to think with that. That's a little. I mean, if he was out there, if Kyron Williams was out there, I'd definitely pick him up. I don't know if I'd start him.
Yeah.
Damn it, Rich. I see you talking shit about Van Jefferson. I don't like that. I'll silence you. I'll kick you out of chat.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't know if I'd go get Kyron Williams because he could have a week like he had last week, and then he may, see 8 snaps this week. Who knows with that? Like I said, if I got a spot on my bench for him, I'll pick him up. But I can't start him. That just seems like an anomaly for the week, and I could be completely wrong. But maybe it's a hot hand thing. I don't know. If this was like week 7 or something like that, where there's a ton of buys or a ton of hurt people or something like that, maybe I would consider it. Him in a flex or something. But right now, I just don't have any confidence in either one of those running backs to start him. It's probably why I didn't draft. It's probably why I didn't draft a running back from out there because it's just, there's a couple of teams like that. I mean, we talked about the Eagles. There's a couple of teams like that. You just don't know what they're going to do, and it's week to week. And so, and Kyron Williams is one of those guys. I mean, he got a lot of the stuff when the game counted, and then we saw kind of almost like a feel bad story for what's their starting? I can't even think of his name right now. The starting running back. Yeah, Cam Akers. Like then he got a lot of stuff late. So, what's that say?
Rich said he's in the doghouse. Another guy I thought of too after I was watching my favorite running back Nick Chubb do work. Jerome Ford looked really good too. He had a fumble, but he was a dog in Cincinnati as a Bearcat, and he's definitely the number 2 now. That's another one I'd pick up. I don't know. I feel like he's not a guy that commanded much of anything on the waiver wire.
No.
Maybe a 0 bid for him.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes like we don't see this as often as we used to, like handcuffing players. But if you got Chubb and some people handcuff late, and you had a big enough roster to do it, you should have got him. If not, go get him. I mean, he saw plenty of time, when Chubb's healthy. So, and he looked good, like you said, he looked really good.
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't know why Chubb.
Guy
I don't know.
But
I don't know why Chubb doesn't get the ball in the red zone. I just don't understand. Like he does all the work to get down there, and then they yank him.
He's the best there is. I don't care.
He's awesome. He's so damn
better.
good.
He's better than McCaffrey. I don't care. I said it. I'll say it again. He is. I don't know if that's true, but he's my favorite, so doesn't matter. So last week for our fantasy favorites, we had. I think we did pretty good. It seems like
Fantasy favorites, yeah, that's too bad, yeah.
Besides Justin Fields, but we didn't know that they'd look like a junior high football team. So, I had Stafford and Goff. Stafford played well. Goff played pretty well too. The Commanders running backs did not do good like I'd hoped. That game was very weird. It was like they just didn't want to win. And then Calvin Ridley was the only receiver I had, and he obviously played well. And then my defenses, Jaguars, they ended okay, but I don't remember how many points they had. I forgot to look that up. And Commanders, they were, like I said, they sucked. Rich also had good ones. Higbee played well. He had Amon-Ra St. Brown, who had a huge game, and Goff also had a big game. And then Bijan played pretty decent for a early young guy. Abe had Fields, not good. Herbert was great. Nick Chubb, of course. Bijan, good. Javonte looked really, really good too. It's too bad Russell Wilson sucks. He's fucking toast, dude. That guy's done. Like, I don't know what, they're like, well, he played really good. It's like, these guys scored fucking 15 points. He didn't play very good.
Right. Yeah. I mean, obviously, if you watched any of our shows last year or know me at all, you know that I just absolutely could not stand him last year. I thought that he would have a little bit of a bounce back season with with an offensive minded coach, and but you got to give him a little bit of time. It's a new system. I mean, he's
a professional.
He's a veteran quarterback. I don't know. He just can't push the ball downfield like he used to, and he sucks.
What happened to that deep ball he used to throw? Remember those deep balls to Tyler Lockett that looked just perfect and just dropped right in?
Oh, I mean, he threw the best deep ball out in Seattle. Yeah. I mean, it was money in stride all the time, and he can't do it anymore.
No, he's trying for the Quad City Steamwheelers, the Arena Football League team around us. He's holding open tryouts that Abe and I are going to go to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tyreek Hill obviously had a massive game. Amon-Ra, like I said, Garrett Wilson had some good catches, but that didn't turn out like we thought it would. Jordan Addison looks like the real deal. Hey, here comes Rich to defend fucking me talking about Van Jefferson. What are you doing, Rich?
Guys? What up, guys?
Hey, what's up?
I'm heading to work right now and stuff like that. I stopped to get something to eat real quick, but I was in the parking lot. I was going to jump on for a few minutes.
It's 11 o'clock at night.
Well, it's 9 o'clock here. It's I'm in Arizona, so I'm 2 hours earlier.
Is it hot out there?
No, it's not, man. I don't feel. I mean, it feels like Oklahoma to me.
Oh, it's like in the 50s here. It's pretty nice now.
Damn, I would love to have weather like that right now.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, what'd you think of your Raiders, Rich?
Man, it was ugly, but hey, I'll take the win. Hey, just so everybody knows, the Broncos has not got a win against the Las Vegas Raiders yet for the whole career.
I love it.
The Broncos,
I love it.
Terrible.
They're 0-7 against the Raiders. 0-7.
Everybody said how bad the Cardinals were going to be. Look at the fucking Broncos.
Hey, dude. Hey, respect to the Cardinals, though, man. They gave it a better game than what everybody thought. That their defense freaking really came to play. Oh
yeah, they did. They look good. I was surprised. I couldn't believe it, but that's just normal, I guess. Hey, props to Jimmy G. He looked like a dog out there. I thought he looked great.
Hey, props to the offensive line, freaking not allowing a sack or anything too.
Yeah.
I got a few notifications on my phone that Jimmy G was doubtful or questionable to return or whatever. And I look up and he's out there trotting back out. I'm like, hey, way to play through it, man. Like,
Now, my concern is Myers, Jacoby Myers. Dude, that guy was balling, man.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I saw Devontae sat out of practice today, but I assume that was just him hanging out. And Jimmy G didn't practice either, but that could be the same. And I don't know about
Yeah,
Jacoby Myers.
I think it's just I know, but in the preseason, everybody was talking about they had like scheduled days off for him with him coming back from injury and stuff like that. So he's probably going to get a lot of that throughout the whole season and everything.
Yeah, that's I kind of figured as much. It didn't seem like he had a big or that there was an injury, a legit injury concern anyways. So that's good to hear though that, but I don't know. We'll see with Jacoby Myers if he's back or not. That's kind of,
I think he'll be out this week. I mean, it was a pretty nasty hit and everything, so he'll probably get set for the first week, set for this week. So I'm not telling everybody to go out and plug Hunter Renfrow in, but he will produce some numbers this week after not getting a single target last week.
are you more confident in Hunter Renfrow or Drake London?
Dude, man, Drake London freaking, he burned me so bad last week, man. You got to think that ain't going to happen again and stuff like that. But the concern is that we might see a lot. I mean, I don't expect another 0 game from him for the season, but I do expect some low performances from London. The surprise of the game of that was Algier, man. Who would have expected him to freaking do what he did with Bijan being there?
I said it a couple weeks ago that I didn't know if I knew Bijan would be great, but I didn't know if he would be like the guy. I thought that they would do a little bit of, spread it around a little bit, but I love Desmond Ridder. That passing game is not where it needs to be yet. And that's why
Well, hey, all due respect and everything and stuff like that. It was the first week. I mean, there was a lot of QBs out there that didn't perform to what we thought was going to. I mean, you sit there and think about it. Freaking Mac Jones, freaking Jordan Love. They were 2-3 in freaking QBs last week as far as fantasy stats.
You didn't expect Jordan Love to do that?
No, I mean, dude. I mean, look, I respect him, but heck, it wasn't so much about Jordan Love and Mac Jones; it was just the performance of everybody else.
I just give you shit because I didn't expect it to happen either. I mean, Abe's got the jersey on now; we're ready.
Yeah.
Hey, I got my Garoppolo jersey too. I mean, obviously, I didn't bring it here for work this week and everything, but hey, I just so I'm staying at a hotel across the street from Cardinal Stadium, State Farm Stadium.
Yep.
And I just went and ate at Twin Peaks. It's like right next to it and everything. And everybody's in there wearing Cardinal gear. Guess what I'm wearing?
Raiders. You got it.
I got all my Raiders gear on, except I got my Frito hat because I'm fixing to head into work.
I heard they have good food at Twin Peaks. That's what I've heard.
Really I got me a New York strip, so
all right,
medium rare. Hey, go ahead and continue with the show. I'm just gonna hang out with you guys for a little bit and go over what you guys are going over. So
nice.
All right. You're back to your tight ends. All right, Jordan Addison looked good, by the way. I don't remember his numbers though. I feel bad saying that. Waller, Hawkinson, and Jake Ferguson. I can't think how they did.
Ferguson had 7 targets. He couldn't catch. I mean, he caught 2 balls right off the bat. He dropped a couple late. But that game script was done and gone, so it was hard for him to kind of stay in the game. But, Hawkinson is who he is. Waller had a down game. Ferguson.
So the news on Waller, I apologize, Abe. So the news on Waller is, look, this is going to be a lingering hamstring. It's the same one from last year, but it's not even so much the hamstring aspect of it. It's his nerves in his hamstring that's causing him issues. So this is going to be a lingering one all year long.
That's not going to be good.
Oh, I forgot. It's another big injury. Deontay Johnson out for quite a while.
Yeah.
With a hamstring.
Yep.
I forgot that one. So this week, some guys I like at quarterback. Josh Allen. Sorry, Rich. I just see him having a bounce back week. Hopefully can kind of throttle things down a little bit and just play the game and let it come to him. Brock Purdy looked very good last week. Not just like game manager good. Like he was just out there just doing whatever he wanted. And I like Derek Carr against Panthers. I thought the Panthers didn't look very good. And I think Derek Carr has a pretty solid weekend. Hey, who you got for quarterback?
Quarterback, I have this is kind of a no-brainer. I have Hurts to go off this week. I like Jared Goff against the Seahawks this week. I mean, I just think that the Rams kind of tore up the Seahawks last week, and I don't see any different for Jared Goff this week. But Hurts is going to go nuts tomorrow night against Minnesota's secondary. It's going to be embarrassing, but
yeah. Rich, you got any quarterbacks for us you like this week?
I mean, you kind of nailed it. Look, me and Jason were doing rankings, top 10 rankings at each position this starting going forward, and we already threw out our rankings for this week. Look, I have Josh Allen, I think 3. I have Hurts at 1, Mahomes at 2, due to the fact of the games that they're playing and everything. They're all going to have some bounce back games from last week. So I got Allen obviously producing high this week against the Raiders. And where that trickles off to is I got Diggs as my number 1 receiver this week because they're playing the Raiders.
Yep. I like that. Running back, I like Nick Chubb.
it's shocking.
Shocker.
We're not going to have to delete that all year long. We can just leave that up for him.
It doesn't matter who he matchup. Doesn't matter who he plays. Jimmy Cook, James Cook, whatever. I'm going to call him Jimmy. And I like for some reason I'm putting DeAndre Swift on there. I just feel like he will. He's going to light him up tomorrow. Somebody is, because their defense still doesn't look very good. So Cook looked great, I thought, against the Jet, that very stout Jet defense. He can do it all. I think he's in for a pretty solid. I hope he's in for a big weekend. So, Rich, you like any running backs this week?
You kind of nailed it with Cook. I think you also hit it with Swift with the injury to what's his name over there, and obviously Penny's probably going to be in the lineup this week and everything, but it's a kind of not so much alarming, but it kind of shows forth that, okay, look, maybe you do want to have your shares on Swift due to the fact that they had a healthy scratch on Penny last week. So I do like the Swift call.
Can out-touch Rashad Penny.
That could obviously be the case and everything. And you know what? As much as you guys were saying earlier, and I kind of mentioned in the comments, look, I like Kyron Williams to have another good game.
I just don't know if I can trust it. I'm not saying it won't happen. It's still weird to me that it even happened. So maybe there's a reason for it. Like you said, Cam Akers, maybe he's in the doghouse. So I don't know how many shares of him, but it would not surprise me. Abe?
My running backs, I like Bijan. I know Green Bay played pretty good against the run last week, and then when we saw Roshan come in and kind of put his head down and run hard, we saw their defense kind of let up a little bit. But I like Bijan. I mean, the guy's going to catch 5 balls a week out of the backfield. Between him and Algier, that backfield is all of a sudden, a top 4 or 5 backfield in the NFL. I wouldn't be surprised if Algier gets 250 carries this year. I mean, it's not out of the realm for it. Bijan kind of be the guy that I'm not saying Bijan's not going to be a 3-down back or the 3rd-down back. I just think it's a good 2-headed monster. I think they're both very good. Algier had a good year last year. But I like Bijan a little bit more this week, catching balls out of the backfield. I love James Cook. Like you said, he looked really, really good. I think this is probably the next up and coming running back that we talk about a lot about this year. If Buffalo gets him the ball, if they make him a part of the game, he looked really good last week. I think he has a great game this week, and I like Rachaad White this week. We ran the ball. Packers ran the ball really well against the Bears. When we decided to do it, I think that Tampa Bay is kind of a game manager team where they want to run the ball, they have to run the ball. The more they run the ball, they keep. If Justin Fields, if he runs the ball. If they keep him on the sideline, I think that's a recipe for success. So I like Rachaad White quite a bit this week also.
Yeah. Hey, guys, one thing real quick before I jump off, come ahead in. But look, Algier and Bijan Robinson. Look, I know a lot of people don't like to be involved in any kind of running back committee or anything like that. But look, they're going to be 1A, 1B. And I don't see it being a thing this year at all that they both don't they both produce in that offense the way they're going to run that offense and everything. So don't be afraid to use either one of them going forward and stuff like that. And then if one of them does get injured, look, more the merrier to the other one that survives the health uh, gauntlet that they're going to go through this year.
I mean, Art wants to run the ball. There's no doubt about it. He's going to run the ball. So you could, I mean, if you had both on your team and you drafted Bijan and did Algier as as a handcuff or whatever, late round flyer, I wouldn't. I mean, you could start both. Start Algier in a flex. They're both going to touch the ball a lot. So
yeah,
I agree with you 100% there, Rich.
All right, with that, guys, I'm out. You guys, continue on with the great show that you guys always do, man.
Hey, have fun at work. Be safe, buddy.
See you, Rich.
All
right, later.
See you next week.
So getting to wide receivers. I like Keenan Allen. Had a very big week. Looked good. Looked like he was kind of Herbert's guy. I think Mike Williams left. Is he playing? I guess I forgot to look.
I didn't see anything on him. So
it must be good. I like Calvin Ridley again to have a big week. I think they're going to need him against the Chiefs. And then I also like Olave to have a good game against the Panthers. Like I said, I think the Saints will take care of him pretty easily. So,
yeah, I like all the Phillies receivers. Each of their big two had 10 targets last week. Each of them had 7 catches. I see that happening again. Last year, one thing about Philly last year is their run for success was just throw the ball and just get up huge in the first half, and then just run the heck out of you in the second half and put you away. Yeah. I kind of see that happening tomorrow. I think they come out gunslinging. I think that both of these wide receivers dominate Minnesota's secondary. Minnesota's secondary is not anything to be. They're bad. I mean, you're going to have Devonta lined up against Byron Murphy probably, and then AJ Brown against Caleb Evans. They're going to get torn up. They're just going to get ripped to pieces. Yeah. So I like both those wide receivers from Philadelphia. I like Amon-Ra again. And then kind of 2 guys that are, maybe your third wide receivers. I like this week. I like Zay Flowers. He looked really good last week. And for a bounce back guy, I like Gabe Davis. He's just one guy that I think they realize we have to get this guy involved. I don't know. He's healthy this year. He just didn't look great. He didn't look that great the other day, but they have to get him going. I mean, it can't be Diggs all year. So I think that they focus on getting Gabe Davis the ball a little bit this weekend.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think they just have to. He's looked too good. So tight end position. I like David Njoku for some reason. I just think that it seemed like he looked well for he had a couple good catches I thought last week. So. And then Evan Ingram, I think, will be another vital part of the Jaguars playing against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think he had a pretty good game against them in the playoffs last year too. Yeah. So my tight ends are I like Waller if he's healthy. I think that they try to make a focus on him. And then I like 2 rookies. I like Sam Laporta a lot for Detroit. Seattle has notoriously not been that great against the tight end position. So I think that he has a really good game. I mean, he saw – I think 6 targets last week against the Chiefs in his first NFL game. I think he settles down. He gets, 5, 6, 7 targets this week. Maybe catches 5 for 60, maybe a touchdown. I don't know. But Laporta's a guy I really like coming into the season. And then I like our guy, Luke Musgrave. Yep. He's on the field all the time. And that's what you want. You want out of your tight end. We didn't see any massive games from tight ends last week. So anytime you get a guy that's on the field, for 80+% of snaps, you've got to plug him in. And for a guy that's not a main blocking tight end, for a guy that catches the ball, he's going to be a guy. And I think that we saw, Atlanta, I think got pretty ripped up by the tight end last week. So those are the 3 guys I like at tight end.
Yeah, for sure. I'm in on that one. I skipped over my defense I had down there. I like Tampa Bay defense. If they come out and play zone, Justin Fields is very, very bad against zone defense, and coaches know that now. Especially a defensive coach, not a defense coach, but just what I'm talking about. Sorry. I think that he'll struggle again. Their offensive line looks bad. You know,
He has to run. Otherwise, he's going to be dog shit all year long. He has to run.
And then I like the Eagles. You know, low hanging fruit. I think they're gonna. They're gonna throttle the fucking Vikings tomorrow night. I don't think the Vikings have a chance.
I agree.
So
my two defenses are the Browns and the Saints. Saints have another good matchup on Monday Night Football against the number one pick. That tends to sit there and sit in someone's mind like, hey, I'm on national TV tonight. I need to show up, and the Saints defense is better than what the Carolinas team is. So I like the Saints defense, and I love the Browns. The Browns were awesome last week, man. Their defense, you know, a lot of people talked about them in the preseason, but man, they're quick. They're good. They're fast. They attack the quarterback. They're good everywhere, and I think that they give Kenny Pickett some fits. No, Deontay Johnson's going to hurt, so.
Kenny Pickett looked horrible last week.
Yeah, he did.
The only guy that looked worth a shit on that team was T.J. Watt. But they didn't even run the ball, it seemed like. Najee Harris had no carries.
No, they took the ball right out of his hands. But, I mean, they got down early, and so their game script changed quite a bit. So,
yeah. DFS lineup, I like last week, I think I don't remember how many points I finished up with. I just looked and I didn't write down. I'm sorry. It was like middle of the road. So this week it seems like to me like nice, good solid floor here. Brock Purdy, Jimmy Cook, Travis Etienne. And that makes me nervous now that Chris Jones is back. But I think getting him involved in the pass game will make up for that. I like Brandon Ayuk to have another big week. He was phenomenal last week. Mike Evans, the Bears can't pass. They can't really do anything. Is Kyler Gordon playing? I don't know. We'll see. But I see Mike Evans having a big game. Michael Pittman had a very big game last week, and they're going to play Texans this week. Not that the Texans they have a good defense, but I just think that Pittman is going to be Richardson's guy, which is good to see. And then, like you said earlier, Luke Musgrave. And my flex was T. Higgins. I was kind of in a weird spot with money. I see the Bengals bouncing back. I know they're playing the Ravens, but they're too good to not score points. I mean, that's not going to happen. And I have Tampa Bay for my defense. So, Abe.
My team is Goff at quarterback, Josh Kelly at running back. Even if I'm drawing a blank here, Eckler plays, I still like Josh Kelly there. I like Dameon Pierce against the Colts defense. I think that game, they try to control the clock, and I think he has a good game on the ground. My wide receivers, I like DK. This is all Seattle, Detroit. I like DK, Amon-Ra, and then I like Josh Reynolds.
He looked good last week.
One guy that just kind of flies under the radar that's really solid for them. They don't really have a clear number two. He's good. He's not flashy. He's not sexy. He's not any of that stuff, but he's solid. And I think that Goff looks for him a lot. I think that's big. So DK, Josh Reynolds, Amon-Ra are my three wide receivers. I like Luke Musgrave. On DK, he's only 3,200. Your goal is to get 2.5 to 3 times your fantasy points back in that. All he's got to do is get 8 points to hit that mark. I think that's feasible. I think he had 8 last week.
Should have had more.
Should have had more. Tripped over his own feet, got thrown behind. My flex, I had plenty of money left because I went low on Reynolds and Luke Musgrave. So my flex is CMC, and then I have the Titans defense.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. So before I forget to, patreon.com/ToiletTitles. We would love the support. For those of you that have supported us, thank you so much for helping us keep the lights on. Doing tons of giveaways. Something else got given away yesterday, and I feel terrible for not telling you what it is right now. But we're gonna be doing giveaways, like I said, giving away gift cards for Fanatics, Homage, all the places that we have affiliates with and sponsorships with, giving away free money. So join, check it out. We'd love to have you. Like I said, get in that Gilded Chat, see what it's all about. The Patreon exclusive Gilded Chat, I should say. I'm sorry. The free waiver wire episode is a fun one that it has a bunch of very good information in it. So, yes, please check it out. If you got any questions, whatever, hit me up. We can get you lined up. So, getting into the gambling part, it's all gambling. The spreads of this week. Last week, I had a couple of good ones. I had God damn it, the Patriots almost covered. That slow start, I was so nervous they were going to get blown out. They ended up losing by 5. So Rich had that one right, and I didn't. The other two I had right. I scrolled away from it. I had the Browns plus 2.5. They blew them out of the water. The Jags won by 10. They were 4.5 point favorites. So, Abe, you want to talk about your week or just skip over it?
I had a really, really rough week, but I picked 3 home teams last week, and that didn't work. So I think we saw 10 road teams win in the NFL last week, which is pretty odd for week 1. So I picked 3 home teams that have done pretty well, playing against teams that are for different reasons. San Francisco flying across the country, and last year week 1 they got pounced. So I picked the Steelers. That was ugly. So I went 0-3 last week. Not a good start, but it is, it's one of those times where I just basically picked my picks as home teams last week, and then we saw 10 road teams win. So that really bit me. So this week I'm taking 3 road teams. That's probably going to go backwards on me again.
No, you're good.
I have the Ravens plus 3.5 at Cincinnati. Cincinnati, Burrow looks hurt. I mean, there's not a bigger Joe Burrow fan than me, but he does not look good. Like his throws were, I know the conditions weren't good. I know the Browns defense is really good. But he was pushing the ball to his running backs instead of throwing it. He wasn't even close on some throws to T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. I hope they get it right. I just think it's going to take a couple weeks before they do, and I don't think that happens quite yet this week. So I like the Ravens plus 3 in the hook. The reason why I like that is I like that half point. So I like the Ravens plus 3.5 at Cincinnati. I like the Browns minus 2 at Pittsburgh. The Browns really, really, really impressed me last week, and Pittsburgh did nothing for me. So I think I like that bet on Monday night. And then I'm going to go with the G-Men. They looked really awful last week, and Arizona looked really good. I just think that kind of turns around a little bit. Once again, really crappy weather. Danny Jones, he's got to run the ball. They don't really have any go-to guys, especially if Waller's banged up. But
Jalen Hyatt, Rocky Top.
I just what's that? Jalen Hyatt. Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of him. He's got to stretch the field, but you can't throw it that far when you can't grip the ball. So I have the G-Men minus 5.5 in Arizona.
I like that. I saw I think there was 4 teams that gave up a touchdown to a run, to a quarterback on the ground last week, and they were one of them. Hopefully that happens again. Big Danny Dimes over guy, so maybe this gets back to normal this week. I like the Eagles minus 6.5. The Vikings again.
I think that's already at 7.5, Nate. By the way.
Oh, that quick?
I think we're.
I literally wrote this down like less than an hour ago.
Yeah, I think we're moving lines. So I don't know that for sure. I for some reason I wanted to pick the Eagles, but I didn't like that hook. So
I see in the comments looking crazy. Which one of you are Coach Epps? Neither one of us is Coach Epps. He's not on this show tonight. I don't know if he's on tomorrow night on a show. I'm sorry that he's not here. I like the Chargers minus 3 at the Titans. I don't know. I feel like the Dolphins should have won by more last week because Brandon Staley's a dipshit and never double covered Tyreek Hill. Like, it was just like, do whatever you want. That game was weird to me that it got that high of scoring. Not that they got that high scoring, but like their defense was just so bad last week. But I don't think the Titans have enough firepower to keep up with the Chargers offense. So I'm hoping that, like I said, they can cover that 3. And I don't think they're going to blow them out by any means, but, I could see them winning by 6 or 8 points or something like that. So, and then I like the Saints minus 3 at the Panthers. Like you said, that is Monday Night Football, I believe. Derek Carr's played in plenty of primetime games. He doesn't have an issue with it. Bryce Young, yeah, sure he has too, but it's a little different in the NFL. So he kind of struggled last week. J.C. Horn out for an extended period of time. That's going to not be good for the Panthers defense. I don't know if Brian Burns is playing.
I don't know who Bryce Young can throw the ball to. I mean, Thielen wasn't anything. They're young guys that they're really kind of counting on. Really didn't do anything either. So I just don't think he has a go-to guy that he can count on quite yet.
No. Look, Crazy said my Cowboys whooped the Giants. Yes, they did. That was I didn't even watch the whole damn game.
That was impressive.
It was. That was.
Hey, that Cowboys team is really, really good. That defense. I'm really looking forward to that Jets Cowboys, those defensive matchups, because the Jets won't be able to move the ball in Dallas, and the Jets defense is really solid. So I'm a big offensive guy, but I'm really looking forward to that game on Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I love Micah Parsons. He might be one of the best players in the NFL.
Oh God, huge fan.
Like top 3 players in the entire
Huge
league.
fan of Micah Parsons. Yeah,
you could probably line him up at safety, and it'd be just fine.
He can play anywhere. Yeah, he can do anything. He can play anywhere.
He can back up Dak.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah. He's awesome.
Damn,
he's awfully impressive.
Yeah, that team would be fun. That game's gonna be good. I wish Aaron was playing, but
yeah, he likes that stadium. I bet he's really missing playing against McCarthy. But
I wonder if they're gonna have Scott Staff out there again. Like Aaron will be wishing he was there, having Creed do the opening, like back in the day. Anyways, I saw a video of that today. It's the only reason I remembered it. That's all I got for the week. Abe, you got anything else you want to touch on before we get out of here?
I don't think so. I mean, like I said, this is we're week 1, 2, and 3 are kind of like, hey, kind of get your feet wet. No reason to panic on a lot of things yet. Just kind of slow into it. It's a long season. The NFL is all pros. Don't forget that stuff. So there's a lot to it. Just kind of relax a little bit. If your team didn't win last week in fantasy, if you lost money, relax a little bit, go back and get it again, and then just start paying close attention. Listen to all of us here on Toilet's Titles, and we'll get it right. We'll start making things right. It's a difficult time to start the season.
And if Dan Campbell's listening, give Jamar Gibbs the goddamn football.
Yeah. Montgomery looked pretty good. So, and I'm a Montgomery owner. So,
yeah. Well, I'm
okay owner, with it.
So,
yeah.
Anyways, yeah. Check out our shows. Like I said, 17 shows on the YouTube channel. Every night, all day, we're here. We're here, giving you all the info you need. Hit the like and subscribe button on YouTube. Give us a review. We would appreciate that. Follow us on Twitter. You can find me at Twitter at Nate_Dirt19. You can find Abe at MVINFF. You can find the show at Toilet's Titles. So we will see y'all next week. Thanks for tuning in, and good luck and good gambling for week 2.
Good luck.